Hi, I'm Dr. Elliot Adam from ElliotOracle.com. I'm also the author of the award winning Fearless Tarot and Tarot in Love, Consulting the Cards in Matters of the Heart. Both books are published by Llewellyn Books and are available wherever books are sold online. And it is time for this week's Oracle reveal. So earlier on my social media, I placed up a photo of three different animals and asked you to use your intuition and ask yourself which animal seems to be calling to you because that animal has your message. And the three animals were the heron, the firefly, and the hummingbird. So if you're just joining me now, ask yourself which animal seems to be getting caught in your head because that animal has your message. So, for those of you who picked the heron animal spirit, I've said this on this channel before. For me, the heron is the water phoenix. It's the bird that can represent emotional rebirth or renewal. And if you're attracted to heron this next week, this could be a time where you're going through an emotional transformation, letting go of the past and really spreading your wings toward a better future. Also, the heron is a water bird, so it can indicate that you're kind of blending that element of air, which is your mind, your intellect, with the element of water, which is your feelings or the deeper intuitive qualities within you. And I feel like there's a blending that's required, a balance of both of those qualities this next week. First card for Heron is where is it best for you to place your focus this next week? And we get the 10 of Cups reversed. Now, when the Ten of Cups comes up reversed, that rainbow, which is normally at the top of the card, is now at the foundation of the card. And for me, that rainbow can really call your attention to color. Now, this could be as simple as being attentive to the colors that you're surrounding yourself with, or what are you dressing in, and what do those colors mean to you? Because colors can affect our mood, they can affect how we're feeling. And so, if you're looking around at your environment and it's feeling kind of like gray and unhappy, or if it feels like you need more color in your life, this could be a time where you're wearing more of a specific color, or surrounding yourself with beautiful fabrics. But also, the Ten of Cups reversed can indicate that this is going to be a time when you're really attentive to your emotional color. The kind of color that happens in your heart. What kind of emotion are you carrying around with you? And if you think of yourself, your personality, your persona in the context of what color am I emitting to other people, this Ten of Cups says that the surest way toward harmony for you is to be mindful of what kind of color you're surrounding yourself with and also what's coming from within. And finally, Ten of Cups reverse can indicate that this is a time for you to resolve a conflict, to allow the rainbow to reappear, maybe after a stormy period. This could be a time where you're really kind of dialoguing with other people with compassion and where you're really coming full circle with something that might have felt like it was hung up before now. The advice from your inner wisdom card, if you pick the heron, is actually the Six of Wands. And for me, the Six of Wands is a card of self esteem and self confidence. It's also a card of being excellent in some way. And I feel like, this is a week where the heron really needs to be mindful of that emotional color they're carrying and to really channel some sort of an emotional color that adds to your confidence, adds to your power. It could also be a time where you want to align with what makes you excellent. The Six of Wands will always say this is a week where it's important for you to shine. And so I just kind of feel like there is a confidence that may be restored, maybe that blending of the emotional and mental kind of playing with that heron energy could be in service to you really getting your sense of confidence back. But also, this is a card of promoting yourself. The squeaky wheel gets the oil first when the Six of Wands appears. So, this is a time for you to really call attention to yourself or your ideas instead of being shy or hiding out. And then the mythic archetype that's going to help you this next week, if you pick the heron, is Selene. And she's the goddess of the moon, and her card says, my fleeting emotions and desires become like the still waters of a clear lake. And that's just so lovely for the heron. I like to think of like a placid lake that the heron is on. This could be a time where you're not getting overly excitable, but that you're really calm in your power, that you're really finding your center, that you're not like trying too hard to promote your ideas or yourself, but instead you're just sitting in your own dignity and you're really letting that power emit from a place of calm. I just feel like this is a time for you, if you pick the heron, to keep your head above the water, to hold your noble dignity, and to step into your self esteem again. It's just a really lovely week for you as well with the moon to trust your instincts, your intuition, and to really just allow those emotions to kind of get into this place of calm because you're aligning with that part of yourself that already knows instead of the part of yourself that is afraid that something means something. So just get in tune with that inner knowing. And I don't know, blue heron might be even just the color blue could be so healing for you this next week. Anything that element of water and air that reminds you of those two elements could be so helpful. So maybe wear more blue or kind of bring some healing with some bright blues. And now we go to the next animal, which is the firefly. And fireflies for me, I'm in England right now, but I do miss the fireflies that appear in the United States during the summer. They look like little fairies. They sort of blink on and off. And firefly brings light to dark places. So if you're attracted to firefly, this could be a time where you're really remembering to get back in touch with your own light. The first card for firefly is where is it best for you to place your focus this next week? And we get the Empress card. And whenever I see the Empress, I just feel like she's saying, it's all going to be okay. Everything is growing just as it should. Hands off. You don't need to mangle control over things right now. You just need to let them be. The Empress is the great goddess of the tarot, and she can sometimes bring in a really powerful feminine archetype that could be helpful. This could be either spiritual support or help from some sort of a spirit that's female, or sometimes the Empress can also just represent the power of women in our lives that are understanding or nurturing, or that we really need to open to. But I feel as well the Empress is wearing that crown of 12 stars, which reminds me of the fireflies. And that crown of 12 stars gives the Empress perspective. She's able to see things from a distance, from the big picture. And so this could be a time for you, if you're attracted to the firefly, where you're looking at things with that higher perspective, or looking at life through the lens of what's eternal about you. The advice from your inner wisdom, if you pick the firefly for this next week, is the Three of Cups. And how interesting, both the Empress and the Three of Cups are threes. And threes can represent joy, expression of living. Here we see the three graces on this card who are joyfully dancing in their circle. And the three graces are also called the charities in ancient Greek mythology. And it's from the charities that we get our English words charm, charisma, and character from. So this could be a time when you're really letting yourself shine again. You're aligning with your character, your charisma. Could also just be a time, again, with all these female archetypes showing up here, especially goddesses here. There could be this sense that you're really aligning with a specific goddess who might hold the key to a quality or some sort of element that you want to bring into your life at this time. So if you've been noticing a specific archetype that just keeps coming up over and over again, pay attention to that goddess archetype, because this could be something that you want to align with to really get you to the next level. And then finally, the Three of Cups will say, trust your charisma, trust your charm to open up doorways that would normally close. It's so fascinating how easy life can be when you bring a little charm or grace or kindness with you. It opens up doorways that would normally be closed. And so don't underestimate the power of your own charm to really change conditions around you. And then finally, the mythic archetypes that are going to help you are Deucalion and Pura. And these are kind of little known Greek mythology figures, but they are kind of like the, equivalent to Noah from the Judeo-Christian mythology. There was a flood, and these are the two people that are left over. And they actually repopulated the earth by picking up stones and throwing them over their shoulders behind them. And what they really represent is creating a new beginning, creating new conditions. And then also that flood, it's like clearing out all the old stagnant things that have just been getting in your way up until now. I feel like old heavy things might need to get cleared out. And now it's time to repopulate your world with what you want it to reflect. Their card says, in starting afresh, I make my life what I want it to be. And so I feel like this is a time, again, of setting intentions for a new beginning. It's almost as if the past, the toxicity of the past, it's flushing out of your system. And now it's time to repopulate your life with the gifts of the Empress and the Graces. And then finally, we're going to go into the hummingbird animal spirit. And hummingbird is also a flying creature, much like a fairy. It can fly forwards and backwards. And hummingbird can represent a need to align with your joy or what makes you happy. Also, hummingbirds, they migrate. They aren't always in the same place at the same time. So, this could be a time as well where your mood is going through a migration process or where you're needing to find your way back to your joy or bide your time for the appropriate time for that joy. First card for Hummingbird is where is it best for you to place your focus this next week? And we get the Six of Swords reversed. And the Six of Swords reverse can sometimes represent a feeling of being stuck in the mud or in some sort of a challenge where you're not able to get moving again on something that just feels stagnant. A lot of times, this card will say it's time to redouble your efforts and to focus on getting moving again. If there's one aspect of your life that's been stagnant or procrastinated, or it just hasn't been moving forward at this time, the Six of Swords says your focus needs to be on getting that moving again. Because I think that that is what is blocking that joy of the hummingbird from fully being expressed at this time. It's amazing. Sometimes we think, I'm going to procrastinate this or I got to put this off because it's just too much. And that's going to make me feel better for right now. And we kind of hide and we kind of feel anxious about it. And it doesn't end up making us feel better. It makes us feel stuck. Whereas actually doing the thing or committing to scheduling a time to get that thing moving that's been stuck up until now really adds to that sense of joy and self esteem. So I feel like it's a time to take responsibility and really get this moving. Advice from your inner wisdom is the Two of Wands, which often has to do with an ambition. And so this could be a time to get an ambition rolling again in your life. It could be a time where you're really aiming high. And we got the Lord of the Manor on the Two of Wands. He's got a castle and a view. He's obviously successful, and yet he's not satisfied with the status quo. He wants the world. He's holding the world. He wants even more. And so too for the hummingbird, this could be a time when you're aiming for something bigger. Could also just be a time when you're unleashing your ambition or at least plotting a course for what you want to come into your life next. The Two of Wands will often come up when it's time to grow. It's like you're a plant that's been in a pot for too long and your roots are bursting out and, there's just not a lot of room to breathe here. It's like you need to be repotted in something that's going to allow you a little bit more breathing room, allow your roots some space to expand and to grow. I just feel like this is a week where you want to focus on what's stifling you, what's keeping the energy stuck, and to instead think of some solutions for how you can give yourself a little bit more space to get moving again. And the mythic archetype that's going to help you is Leto. She is the goddess who is the mother of the divine twins, Artemis and Apollo. And Leto says, when the time is right, I will know how to express my full light. And Leto, she is a goddess of light and divinity, but she's also a light that had to hide. When she was pregnant, the goddess Hera was out to get her. And so she had to kind of hide and give birth to these children without Hera knowing. And so Leto could represent, maybe this is a time as well where you're sort of like coiling back your light, coiling back what's going to make you shine. You're waiting for the right moment. And when that right moment strikes, it's time to let that shine. It could also be a time to get something unstuck as it relates to what makes you shine at this time and come up with a plan or a strategy for how you're going to move forward without feeling like you're kicking the can down the road. And that is this week's Oracle. I do hope you enjoyed it. If you did, I always appreciate a like, a thumbs up, and even a comment in the comment box. I love reading your comments and the discussions that you all come up with amongst yourselves about the different animals and how they might have resonated with you. And if you absolutely love my channel, subscribing to it, sharing it with a friend, it really does help it grow. Also, if you want to schedule a one-on-one tarot session with me, I get a lot of questions about this. It's super easy. Just go to elliotoracle.com, click readings, and you'll be able to see my whole calendar and my availability and what might work best for you and schedule it remotely. So I'd love to see what my cards have to say about your particular situation or whatever is going on in your life. I hope you have a wonderful week, whatever it is that you're doing, and I will see you again here next week as I always do, so do take care.